Greetings, greetings, greetings. We are live on Sunday, June 21st. Happy Sunday. Happy summer solstice. I'll leave the comments on and I'll do my best to monitor the comments. Hopefully we don't get too deep in conversation where it gets so sweet. Today we have a beautiful guest, a sister, friend, and like I said on every show, conversations that happen offline, we bring it to line because all the conversations always allude to wellness is your birthright. I want to give thanks for the land that I am on, this beautiful, beautiful indigenous land. I give thanks for those who came before us so that I can speak freely, so my sister can speak freely. I give thanks for my family, my lineage that made it their duty to be well and stay alive and to download wisdom into their DNA that I can activate. I give thanks for my sister and her ancestors for not only staying alive, but being wise enough to do what they need to do to activate their intelligence and wisdom that aligns with cosmic forces. Yeah. So I'm not going to go any further than that. I would like to, hello. Yes, Anu. Greetings, greetings. I would like to introduce you to Nzingha. I'm going to let you introduce yourself. You are a beautiful spiritual practitioner, and it's always the ones that are, I'm going to say, antique. I think we're antique. My elder, my sister friend, they said it years ago, antique versus name brand, right? Antique is especially tucked in like a museum, and that's how I would explain your energy. So if you can let the audience know who you are, what you do, and then we'll jump into the topic and see where spirit takes us from there.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nzingha. I am an energy spiritual practitioner, as she said. It's Listen, when it comes to titles, that's something that is, I would say, new for me, but this is what it is, right? So
Mhm.
I work in energy healing. I help to co create with individuals the healing that they seek for themselves. I firmly believe that we are all capable of healing ourselves. So I'm just the individual who comes in and helps to raise the volume on what you are saying to yourself. Reflect back onto you what it is that you want to show to yourself. And that's that.
I love it. I love it. And I wish I was outside. It's been raining for about 48 hours straight where I am.
Mm-hmm.
But I give thanks because we are prone to forest fires and natural fires out here in Western Canada. So I give thanks for the rain, especially on a summer solstice. I don't know, there's
Yeah.
something about the rain and the energy. So, for those of you who read anything in the description, and if you haven't, that's okay because I'm going to put you on game right now. So, today we're going to talk about the awakening of the lockdown, or due to the lockdown years ago, 5-6 years ago, there's been an awakening. So, the reason why, I don't remember the reason because there's a few conversations between you, me, and some other people. I'm like, okay, this has to be a topic, and we gotta talk about this. But what helped me, let me speak from my journey. Right at the beginning, I was already in my spiritual practice and meditation, and there was a voice very loud, come off social media, and whatever medicines that are going to be offered is not going to go well with your body. Do not take it. And if anyone knows me personally, I have a lot of allergies to many things, right? So I said, what is that all about? And I said, okay, so you come off social media, you're on lockdown. I don't have TV, I don't watch cable. So I started reading and walking in the morning. And then I said, I need something more. I met a beloved brother just before, about 2 or 3 weeks before the lockdown. I was teaching mental health first aid across Canada on the other side in Toronto. And so I'm, preparing to teach again. So I'm giving out their certificates and doing whatever. And he was really, not adamant, but offering that I connect with this elder who does Black history studies. And I joined the group right away. They moved from in person to online in 2020. And ever since then, I've been learning more about how nature correlates with human consciousness and how human consciousness correlates with nature. And so for me, that was a new learning in terms of Memphis theology and ancient Kemet. And so this lockdown created not only an awakening within myself, but it gave me a better understanding on what's happening on a cosmic level, astrologically, what's happening with the moon, the stars, the universe, and our cells and our consciousness and the correlation of that and the timing of that. And all fear subsided. In fact, I started to get excited about the lockdown and what's to come afterwards. So that just stuck with me. And through that, I'm meeting beautiful people like Nzingha. So Nzingha, I know you had your awakening. You had your awakening. And, we can go all day about our experience, but that is the cusp of what brought this conversation today, is actually looking at what did that do for us on a collective conscious level, on a cellular level, on a spiritual level, on an astral level, on an etheric level, and all those levels. So Nzingha, you had your own experience. I hope you can hear me, because you look a little bit frozen right now. Can you hear me, sis? Okay, so Nzingha's going to jump back in, because we all know when we're in nature, the Wi-Fi be tripping sometimes, right? So I love that we could be in nature. I know this morning I was on a morning call, and nature, it was just raining, lots of rain, and it was messing with my Wi-Fi. So this morning I couldn't even log on my computer at all. My computer was totally frozen. So I already know sometimes the energy of nature and technology and all of that. And so I'll continue with the lockdown. And since then, there's been a rising of consciousness. There's been a rising of the consciousness of Earth. Earth carries a frequency. Earth is alive, it's conscious, and it's living. The galaxy, the planets, the plants, the rivers, the grass, everything that vibrates went through its own awakening moment. So not only on a universal environmental level, but also on a personal level, on a cellular level, there was an upgrade. Now, the difference for some, and I don't want to pacify the negative experience that it may have on some people, losing jobs, losing life, impacting health, prolonged health issues. I don't want to pacify those experiences, and I want to hold space for those experiences. And I want people to know that we're not ignoring those experiences. So that is a part of the experience for many. That's not the space where I'm alluding to for today. Today is about that energy awakening. So our sister is back, and I want to check in. Can you hear me, sis? You're smiling. You can hear me? Okay. It's a bit choppy. So I'm hearing you shuffle to try to get that sweet spot. And so can you hear me now? Because you're on mute now. Okay, I can see you moving, but the it sounds digital and choppy. It sounds like like the Wi-Fi is trying to connect. We're trying to plug in. Yeah, take your time. Take your time. So a part of the awakening experience, it shifted relationships, it shifted desires, it shifted ways of how our spirit, our higher self, our Ori, whatever you want to call it, wants to express itself in the flesh form. It awakened our purpose. So, working in the mental health and addictions field, working in that field, even with clients, even in my work, there's two things that I saw, that there was this raising of consciousness to say, you know what, I got to do better. I got to feel better. I gotta take accountability. I gotta take this and move higher with my life, consciously, emotionally, or the polar opposite, on where it activated mental disturbances and major imbalances. So awakening doesn't always happen in a positive way for people. Awakening can either leaning in the flow, or pull back and create resistance to the awakening. And resistance of anything causes pain, tension, disturbances, right? So either way, it's the same energy that was permeating over the earth. It's time to awaken. It's time to call in your power, to get grounded in your power. It's time to live in your purpose, not pretend. It's time to awaken your real voice that we always hear, or upgrade. If we were always, like for me, I was already on that path, but it was now, okay, let's increase the vibration so I could expand wider. So for many, it was just an awakening. For some, it was an expansion, and expand wide and deep so we can hold more and support the earth. Yeah. So that's one of the major things that I wanted to touch on, is that awakening is not sexy. Awakening does not always feel good. Awakening is not always beautiful. In fact, once we reach to a level of consciousness where now we can't unlearn what we learn and unsee what we see and unfeel what we feel, there is a calling to act. There's a call to action. And in that action, we may lose some friends, we may lose family members, we may lose our loved ones and partners. Or lose that dynamic of relationship. Some of us may have lost our jobs. I was one of those. And I pivot real quick to get a next job in another industry, right? Because I saw what was happening. And so when there's an awakening, especially when it's astrological, when it's happening in nature, in the cosmos, we can't fight it. It is happening. So you either jump on and ride the wave and learn how to ride the wave, or sit in resistance and create either, I like what Paula says, heaven on earth or hell on earth. Either way, you'll experience that. So awakening is a choice to say, I'm going to be aligned with this cosmic energy of flow and consciousness. And that is not easy. So when this happens and you say, okay, there's change happening in my life, 6 years later, I'm not the same. What can I do? Now by Acknowledging that change, you've already accelerated. Observing the change. In the observation, you are healing. In the observation, you are accelerating. In the observation, you've already shifted consciousness. In the observation of your life and owning it, you already have shifted to your higher self or being in aligned with your higher self. Yeah. So when we talk about the lockdown, I don't want to talk too much about, COVID and things like that. I really want to bring in the shift. So I talked a little bit about my shift, but what we really want to tap into today is the acceleration of the personal breakthroughs, the acceleration of the changes, the acceleration of inner consciousness and universal consciousness, and what happens to us when we don't work on being aligned with that. And it's not that you are going to be doom and gloom, but what happens with resistance creates disconnect, it creates imbalance, it creates disharmony. And when we're not in harmony or in balance, it creates tension, separation, chaos, confusion, imbalance, ungroundedness, all sorts of things, right? Dis-ease means you're not at ease. So that's one of the other points that we're going to touch on, and we're going to show some tools on how you can calibrate yourself. So we touched on it this morning in another platform with Paula Herlock in the solstice meditation. But we're going to go into it a little bit deeper with some phrases that can help. And our medicine practitioner, Nzingha, our beautiful sister, will also be able to share some of her medicines and experience. So I'm ready to pass it on to you. Otherwise, I have points I could touch on all day, every day. So I know you pivoted into your location. Can you hear me? I think you're on mute. Can you hear?
I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
Okay, it's still choppy. Let's try again.
Okay. Can you hear me well now?
Okay, one more time. Let's see if it's going to kick in. We can see you. We can see you.
Okay. So if you can hear me well now, great. If you can't hear me well, I will transition to my computer. Let me know.
Okay, it's still choppy. It's still choppy. I think you said if you can't hear me well, let me know.
I can hear you well, but I want to make sure that all the choppiness is away while I'm speaking.
Okay, so you're choppy.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna start.
pivot. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, okay, beautiful. So our sister is going to come back. One thing I know about technology and being even around some of my elders is that when there's a lot of energy, electrical charge, there's an interference. So I'm actually going to practice what I'm preaching. We're going to tap it out, and I'm going to tap it out. So there's two hemispheres of the brain. I'm just going to pretend that I'm tapping here, and I'm going to tap my heart, and then I'm going to continue tapping my heart and move to the gut and do some deep breathing so that we could just resonate and calibrate with the technologies here. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, and deep breath out. We give thanks for the resonance that is happening. We give thanks for the calibration that's happening. We give thanks that any glitching that's happening goes to a time and place of nothingness. And we give thanks for the smoothness and the clarity of our sister's voice. We give thanks for the messages that are being downloaded. We give thanks that the hearts that are supposed to hear this message are open, ready, and clear. We give thanks that all systems are now calibrated. And anything that's not serving this moment goes to a time and place of nothingness. All right. So we're going to add, and she just came back. Watch your now. Watch your now. Watch the magic, everyone. Watch this. Yes, sister. There you go. So let's say hello to the people in Siwagwan. You sound better. Can you hear me now? Okay, so speak again. I can see you a lot more clearly. the volume. So I had an elder who one time keep talking. I can't hear you. Pause and unpause and see. And one of my elder, when she was with NBC, you're gonna come back and yeah. And there was, some energy thing that wasn't aligned with her, and she said to the production team, "You guys better be aligned. I told you what's up, and I told you," and they didn't listen. And as soon as she walked out the house of where the production team and they all walked out, there was an electrical fire, and boom, the house caught on fire. And so I know that as we choose to do this work and increase our electromagnetic energy and frequencies, it will cause different disturbances in the energy. And that is a part of the lockdown awakening, because the awakening, it's conscious, but consciousness carries frequency and energy, and it crystallizes in the tissues. In fact, there are crystals in the tissues that have little electrical voltage. So when we activate our tissues, we're sending out lots of energy out here. Yeah. All right, sis, let's try this again. I can see you, but I can't hear you. You can hear me? You can hear me? I can hear you. That's what you said. Okay, I'm reading your lips. I cannot hear you. I'm reading your lips. Why? Lots of power and energy. Try it one more time. Yes, try it one more time. No, I can't. But you probably, when you log back in, turn off your Wi-Fi quick, turn it back on to redo your energy connection, and then jump back in. Beautiful. So how does energy work, and how can we use this acceleration energy to help with healing and growth? So, and Nzingha was going to talk about that, but I want to go back to the astrological change that is happening. So today is the summer solstice. It's one of the longest days in the year, and it's one of the days that we're closest to the sun. That is not by accident. That was by design. But how does that correlate with our inner sun that is within us? Now is the time, today, this window, I would say maybe the next 48 hours, this is the window where we are closest to our manifestation power. We are the closest to our acceleration power. We are we're hot. So if you know when the fire's hot, that's when you put the food on and you cook. I don't know if you've ever been camping, but it's not until the pot is hot where you can't put, if like my background's Jamaican, so we're making fried dumpling or something like that. When you have to wait till the oil is hot to put the food in, you cannot fry French fries or potato or any starchy foods in a lukewarm oil. It has to be hot. And at the hottest point, you can cook, you can manifest, you can turn something raw into something cooked and eat it, and it's ready for serving. So this is the time of the year astrologically where it's time to cook. It's time to, for some, we write down things, we say things. I want to offer as something as simple as we are connected to the solar system. The power of that sun to accelerate, to heat up the earth, to light up the earth, to warm up the earth, to add vegetation to the earth, to help heat up people's skin in the bright sun. Today, the sun's not out that much because it's raining, but it's still out there. It creates light. The same thing that's happening astrologically is happening within us. That is the power of today. That is the power of us in this day today. That is the power of the calibration that we should, need, could have to today and the sun. Today is you're going to light up your passion. You're going to light up your voice. You're going to light up your cells to heal. Today is the day of lighting up. Today is the day to start cooking up. So a part of the lockdown is, yes, we had our experience of the awakening for some, and some, it was too much energy. So it impacted their imbalances. Either way, it's a powerful energy that started back when, and it's an astrological energy. Sis, you're back. It's an astrological energy that started back when. We're going to, oh, there we go. We switched up.
Can you hear me well?
There
Yes.
we go. Okay. Let's see. There, oh, we switched it up. Good. Yes. You know, I don't think this ever happened on the show. It happened with me, but not, and that's because I wasn't understanding StreamYard. So this is beautiful. So I'll finish my thought and I'm going to pass it to you. This is the time where we want to be very intentional with the sun, and the sun within lies in our solar plexus just above our belly button. So as we breathe, which we will do some breathing, and as we intentionally fire up the sun within, what does the sun do to plants? What does the sun do to the grass? So this is the time where we actually want to be aligned with the astrological forces, because we are not separate. As above in the astral field, so below on earth, as within us, within our hearts and our cellular self, so without in the world. Yeah. So
Yes.
this.
Can you hear me now?
Girl, you are on and on and on and clear.
Hold on a moment. Just one moment. It's
Yes.
going to get loud, everyone. All right. Ashe. This is a spicy conversation, I see. A beautiful one. And I say this because Hathor knows we were on StreamYard this rising. I've been on StreamYard every day this week. Early, when there's no traffic, when there's a ton of traffic. I started off the StreamYard. Everything was seamless and smooth, but all that is a lesson to stick it in, and it's all good. It's
Yes.
all good. It's just adding more.
Yes.
It's just adding more to it.
And we
So
get to put to practice our practice.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you heard or what you didn't hear, but I'm led to ask you,
hmm
what is it that brought your awakening? And I think there was a plethora of instances, but what was that moment for you, and how has that supported you to this present moment, to like right now at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time?
hmm So at the point of COVID, I worked in a hospital prior
Okay.
to COVID and during COVID. So for anyone who either worked in a hospital or had to go to a hospital either for themselves or a loved one, they know the hectic nature or the energy around the hospital at that time. And I worked in an emergency room. So what brought me to really looking into myself even more than I had ever known that I could was that thick time of truth
Mm-hmm.
and of light. Sadness, yes, but a yearning to see the light within
Mm-hmm.
the the darkness
Mm-hmm.
and accepting both sides and the whole cup of the nature.
Yeah.
So that's what really brought me into myself. So I've been working in a hospital. It went the way a hospital usually goes.
Right.
I'd been attending church. Church was
Mm.
amazing. Oh yeah,
So you shift.
love
Okay.
church.
Okay. Yeah.
Love church. And church started to go the way that the hospital and the rest of the world went, requiring certain things for
Yeah.
entrance.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt at that time that my legs were giving out under me because it was a
Mm.
place of learning that
Mm.
I found for myself. It wasn't a family church. It was some place that I really went seeking and found and I'd been there for a few years and I found a family and I was able to bring my family there. But I was so grateful for what I'd learned. I'd learned vocabulary in a new way at this church.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Um, an amazing amount of people that poured into me. And what that experience, both at work and at my place of worship, allowed me to do was to see that I can take from each experience what it is that I want to take from it. And I can magnify that, and that can be poured back into me or that can stay within me. I don't have to throw out the whole pot. I can keep the dumplings, I could keep the spinach, I could keep this, I could keep that. I could even keep a little bit of the water because the water has a lot of nutrients. But I
Mm.
don't have to keep
Right.
the tops of the turnips. I don't have to keep the tops of the carrots. I don't have to. If I don't want to. That's the point.
Mm.
If I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, and I also lived in a different city. I lived in a big metropolitan, beautiful city, the city
Uh-huh.
of New York. And everything was saying, you know what? It's time to move. It's time to move. I found a job. I loved that as well. Worked
Mm-hmm.
really well there.
Mm-hmm.
They also required the same requirements as the
Mm-hmm.
hospital and other places. Um, but I stood firm on what it was that and what it is that I believe in, and they accepted that. But for me, my experience was that I opened my mouth and I asked God to remove everything from my life that was not of my highest and greatest good.
Whew. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
as I said it, I got a call from my sister, a family member. She's an astro family member. And that also, that's another lesson in not the family that we are given, but the family that we choose. And the love that we have out there for ourselves if we choose to cultivate and make our own salads and make our own pots.
Ashe.
The
Phew.
minute I said it, I was at work. She calls me and she says, I got a message that you need to leave from within. I said, okay, no problem. And I started a water diet. I said, I'll do a water diet for 3 days. I did one full day. On the second day, I came into work and I was told I'd be getting laid off, that the company was going through some changes and I was a really great worker. I had the highest uh, numbers at the company, and they
Mm-hmm.
would like me to reapply for a higher position, but I had capped out or maxed out at the salary that I was at for the position I was at. And I was like, wow, that worked quick. I did not continue on to the third day. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, that was so quick. I was like, I've never done this.
Yeah.
So quick. And that weekend, I moved to the state that I'm in now. So things had been in preparation in the sense where I'd already moved from one job.
Mm-hmm.
I got used to, and prior to, I used to have to wait to hear no for me to move on. In the at the job at the hospital, what I practiced doing was I said no before the paperwork came in that we can't be there if we didn't follow those rules. So I said,
You
no
said no
problem.
within, from within yourself or out
Yeah.
loud?
He, pardon?
Out loud or from within? You said no?
Oh,
You said I said no before you heard no from them. So
oh
did you say
yeah.
no to them or you said no within your own consciousness?
In the sense that I knew that things were done at a
Okay.
certain point, but I never wanted to speak on it or anticipate it or think that I was giving the idea to someone else. So
Okay.
I would just wait. I used to let things play out very much, just let it take its course. I'm good at that. I'm very patient.
Right.
Um, but with the hospital, I said, you know what? I know what's coming. I can say no here. With the
Okay.
job that I had post the hospital, I let, my desires be known, and it was met with grace and
Mhm.
with space. So I moved to the state that I'm living at now. And then I was blessed with a season of quietness
Ooh.
and a season of shaking up everything that I didn't even know was there to be stirred. There were, when it comes to myself, how I see myself, when it comes to how I see my lineage,
Mm.
that which I've come from.
Mhm.
And when I mean stillness, ooh, stillness. And then growth at the same time.
Right.
Because my partner and I decide, okay, well, let's grow our family. So it's all the shakeups and it's birth that's coming. And through that, I was able to see myself in the divinity that I am.
Mhm.
As a woman, my question, my personal question sometimes came in that, how good am I with women? how much do I honor women? I know
Mm,
I love myself and I have some close female friends, but how strong do I cultivate that relationship amongst myself and women? Because I can
mm,
clearly see with men, it's an easy relationship. I'm in a relationship with a man. At that point, I already have a son. I have very close male friends, but my female friends, we were different. We were
mm.
like the different person in each group, and we all found each other, but there weren't many conversations, but every conversation was a sticking conversation that I only needed to have once or twice a year.
Yeah, I love
And
those ones.
and
Yeah,
it got me right on. And it
yeah,
got them right on too, I'm sure.
yeah.
So in that season of preparing for birth, I wasn't too caught up on the sex of the child. What would I have? But then, the doctor comes. I had a midwife, and she's like, you're having a girl. You're having a daughter. And I said, wow, look at God's reflection showing me back onto myself that I am capable of having a girl. That I am capable of having a wonderful relationship with a woman. And she
Mm.
was born right here on this land. And as soon as she came out, they hold the baby and they say, okay, she was already crying, all stuff like that. She actually wasn't crying. She was cool. She was calm.
Yeah.
But they wanted to make sure that she was good because she was born with her umbilical cord wrapped around her neck. I
Wow.
was also born with my umbilical cord wrapped around my neck. And my name is after a woman whose umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck. She was born with her umbilical cord wrapped around her neck. So she comes out. I know she's fine. And they're like, hey, talk to me. And they're ready to, you know, check her out. And all in my haze, I stop everyone and I say, wait, ask her first. She'll let you know. And they all looked at me like, what? Yeah. Okay, no problem. It's fine. It's her birth. They asked her and she said, eh. I said, very well. She's answered. And that is exactly how it has been for her up until
Oh yeah,
this young point. Um, so through all of that, that was the family personal side.
yeah.
But through all of that, I found spirituality in a deepening way. I've always attended church. I've been to multiple churches, multiple denominations. There wasn't a Sunday that I missed. That I was that child. Traveled to countries for churches, went to church camp. But to hear about a God outside of yourself is so different than hearing about the God from within.
Ashe. Yeah.
And to know the power that you hold, the love that you hold, because that power is truly in love to be your own I am.
Can you say that again? The true power is what? And where? I'm getting so excited. I can't. You should see my legs like this.
the power, the power is in love.
Mm,
That is the power. The power is in love. And the love is in the I and it is in the we, not separate from anyone else. That is why you see my name as I and we, because it's I and we is we. I and we is we. All one, all love, all God. And not just us as humans, what we see here with the 5 fingers or 3 fingers, 6 fingers, however amount of fingers you have, but it's with every living and every non living too, in every leaf, in every
mm,
water droplet, in
mm.
every inanimate object that a human has made, there is life there too. There is energy amongst everything. And if you don't believe so, clean your closet. You will know that energy is there. There may not be a person living there, But there's a piece of clothing made by someone. There's a piece of clothing that smells like someone you hold near and dear and true. There's a
Mm.
piece of clothing that doesn't belong to you that you need to clean out.
Hello.
And
Don't be putting people's business out here now, girl.
there's a picture, there's a piece of jewelry, there is a note, and all of these things made for beautiful experiences in the moment in which we had them. And we
Mm-hmm.
won't lose those experiences just because we choose to give away or to throw out and discard those pieces.
Mm.
We are not throwing ourselves out when we throw these things out. We don't discard ourselves. If you think that, then what you're actually committing to is that a memory past will be gone and tarnished forever. And that is not true. And when the
Mm.
mind goes, the heart still remains. So I had this beautiful awakening during COVID, post COVID, continuing because I wake up every day. I'm awake right now. Every time I close my eyes, I feel like I'm waking up again for every.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And I am grateful. I won't take anything back. Not a thing.
Mm.
I just recently, as with Hathor-Ra, joined a wonderful group of people led by Miss Paula Herlock. And leading up to going to that group, I would pray. I would walk into the forest near me. I would pray and I would say, God, source, divine, creator, every word come, come to mind. I was like, all of it. I was like, the end that I am. Everything. I said, you know, I would like to join this group. And I think in joining this group, it's going to open up my mind and open up my eyes and really open up my heart in a way that
Mm.
I've never seen it before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I would be able to cultivate friendships and people around me that are working on themselves. And we can walk in alignment next to one another. And just peer in and open up and say, how you doing over there? Today was a rainy day. How are you doing over there? Today was a sunny day. Be
Yes.
well, be blessed, right? And since joining that group, since praying
Yeah.
and saying I want to rid my life of all that is not for me, for within, I found that group and then things continued to grow. From that group, I joined a school that taught and teaches energy healing. From that group, we communicate with one another and we grow deep. We grow deep and we grow within. In that group, I said, okay, you know what? I need a job. I was a stay-at-home mom at the time, and I said, I'm gonna need a job to help with the finances because I want to go to school and I want to be part of this group. I want to be part of that group. The money wasn't stretching there. It was it was for what it was needed for.
Exactly. Hello.
And I said, okay, well, I'm gonna apply for the school. I'm gonna sign up for Paula's group, and I need a job all in the same week. A job messages me, hey, can you come in for an interview? Within 2 days, went to the interview. Interview went great. They called me as soon as I left. We would like to hire you. I said, amazing, awesome. Now, this is also another lesson. God presented, said, oh, you're good at speaking. You're good at asking for what it is that you want. Now, are you good at discerning what it is that is coming to you? Are you good at filtering out what is of your past life and what is of the life that you live now, which is the life that you will continue to live moving forward?
I gotta write that down because we gotta circle back to that. Yep. Okay.
And I say it in that way because even for myself, sometimes we speak and we say, past life, now life, future life. My future life is my now life. It is what I am living. It is what I am. I am walking in that at this very moment. So if I say my future life, there's a distance between me and that. There is no distance between me and that.
No, it's my now life.
It's my now life. Exactly. So I got this beautiful test and I went to this wonderful job with these people with amazing personalities, great attitudes, and it was great. I went for 1 day and I said, this is not for me.
Mm.
Came home and the body talks. The body tells you exactly what it is your heart and your mind are feeling, just in case you need a backup. I
Mm.
came home, the weather was great, and I came home sick. I came home with a cold, not sick. I came home with a cold. I don't get colds. There was no
Mm.
one around who was sneezing or huffing or such. And that night I said, I'm going to sleep on it, but I don't think I'm going to continue with this job. Woke up in the rising, went back to the workplace, to the office, and I told the woman who'd hired me it was her business. Great alignment as well. I said, this is a wonderful place to be in, but this is not the place for me right now. And she said, so what are you going to do? And I was like, my first thought was, I don't know. I didn't apply to anywhere else. I just got this job. I would like the money. However, this isn't the place. But I said, I have stuff coming up. I have something
Mm.
that aligns with me really well,
Mhm.
and I'm excited to start it, and it's close to my house. Had absolutely no idea what.
Uh-oh. Nzingha?
Are you hearing me? Yes,
Yeah, the screen just went out. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I can't see you.
Okay, let's see. Can you see me now?
No, we can hear you
Okay,
clearly though.
but you can hear me clearly? That's
Yeah.
all that for me, that's fine if that's fine with you.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe it's just a voice that's needed now. And it's not just me, it's all of us speaking back to all of us. And
Yeah.
everyone who's listening is going to get whatever it is that they're asking to hear.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I had no specific idea of what the job was. Told the woman, thank you for your time. That was 1 day. It was the first time I'd ever done that in my life. I am a Caribbean
Woo!
young lady. I come from a hard working, a
Yes.
steadily working, multiple job
Two, three
working,
jobs, four. Yeah.
pension, social security, 401k, full insurance, everybody plan, everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd been moving and shifting into something new. So I had to do something new. It was by no mistake that God
Mm.
said, I will give this to you on a platter, but what is it that you actually want? So
Mm-hmm.
maybe also speak up and say with more detail. And it's not
Mm-hmm.
that you're asking for something that is foreign. Say what it is that you require of yourself, and I'll give it on to you.
Call it in.
And that is you giving it on to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're call
Mm-hmm.
exactly, you're calling it in. I went home. I breathed. My favorite thing to do. I just breathed. Did a lot of breathing. At this point, I would say now, yeah, it was breath work.
Mm-hmm.
And I that evening I got an email and it was like, would you like to apply for this position? We think that you would fit very well for a position that I've never held before. But as I've worked in the healthcare field, I've worked with children, I've worked with domestic violence, I've worked with I've been to nursing school. I've worked in spirituality in different realms. I said, okay, no problem. And I had a wonderful interview, and that is where I, currently am. And
Mm,
I'm happy for that because I found people who are lights onto
mhm,
themselves,
mhm, mhm,
are lights onto themselves.
mhm.
And I work in a special place where there are not many people who speak. So
Right.
it's all about reading energy. It's all about helping those individuals with energy and also opening and receiving the assistance that they could be giving you in their
Mm,
silence and
mhm.
what it means to just learn to watch and move from within. And that is where I am now, folks. I met this beautiful young lady, Hathor-Ra, and I was like, oh, my sister, why did it take us
I,
so long to meet? That's
I
okay.
was like, oh my God. Like, I'm going to touch on a few things and what keeps coming up. So the thoughts I had before, Spirit's like, yeah, we're shifting because the energy is shifting.
Mhm.
So what keeps coming up is shape shifting, energetic shape shifting, energetic shape shifting. So if we look at what is happening in nature, what is happening in nature? The seasons are changing. It's an energetic shape shifting,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? And every time, every shift that you spoke about came from you speaking. You went into prayer,
Yeah.
affirmative prayer. You called from the unseen to be seen. You commanded and demanded your reality. What
Yeah.
Paula taught me is this process of turning on and turning off
Yeah.
in your commanding.
Mm-hmm.
And in metaphysics, and I'm not done my schooling yet. I'm not as diligent as you. I'm very, very, very part time, but we'll do a quantum leap this year to complete my metaphysical PhD. But what
Ashe.
it has, Ashe, thank you. What it has continue to show from the first module right into we're in telepathy and psychic abilities and different things. It's all about vibration, shape shifting, all about vibration, shape shifting, and whether things are happening to our liking or whether things are not happening to our liking, there's a part of that reality that we can account for.
Yeah.
So we can't change who the president is. We can't change who people are around us. We can change how we feel about ourselves and the interaction with those people, places, things, and events. We can shape shift how we respond or don't respond, how we interact or don't interact. And in that shape shifting of ourselves, we are creating a whole new reality in the now. The past is in the now, the future is in the now, everything's in the now. So
Yes.
what energetic frequency am I going to choose to live? And in that shape shifting, it's almost like the mold where people have they make a ceramic.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's we are the clay makers of our reality.
Yeah.
And one of the major techniques, and Paula said it this morning, Paula Herlock said it this morning, my other elders and leaders and mentors, and even my own Ori, my own higher self says it, it's in the breath.
Yes.
In the breath. We don't shape shift by writing down all these affirmations and doing all these rituals and do that. In every ancient indigenous practice, it starts with the breath. And depending how we breathe will cultivate a certain shape shifting in our reality. And this morning we felt it. We did the different breathing techniques, and we landed with a shape-shifting fiery technique to set things on fire, to go. Let's go. It's summer solstice. We're gonna cook. We're cooking out here.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so the breath is what connects us to nature. The breath is what connects us to the different realms. So if I'm quantum jumping from one reality to the other, what becomes my slingshot to jump is in the breath and intention. A very, very clear intention, and see it in your mind's eye. Take a breath. And that happens in a negative manifestation or a positive manifestation.
Yeah.
And so what is happening on earth is, for the first time, because we've entered, I believe, into a new age. Yeah. So
Yes.
we're in a new frequency. And for the first time, the average person can take a breath and shift your reality in real time. Let me tell you something. I'm going to share a little story before we wrap up here and do some techniques. Hopefully you could come back on camera to guide us, but your voice can still guide us.
Okay.
I remember I was at this place of employment, and there was a discrepancy with one of the staff and myself. Oh, she's going to join and come back in. There was a discrepancy with the staff and myself. And so she was ready to, get revenge, because what happened is I spoke the truth. I was asked a few questions about a situation at work, and I spoke the truth, and the truth got her in some little trouble. And her result of that was to get a group of women with some bats and with some weapons and deal with my case. Right? I did not know this at the time. All I knew is I'm going to work. We're going to have a meeting. I brought my child because there's a youth program there. I can bring my child there and I'll go and have the meeting in the office. And something was just off. Something was like, stop in your car and take a breath. And that's what I did. I took a breath, and I already know this woman was very, very upset because she lost her job as a result. So when you know, that's your bread and butter. So I get it. In fact, we both ended that day. That day was both of our last days, to be honest. Okay. So I took a breath, and in that breath, I was able to hear. So when I'm not slowing down and I'm breathing, I'm like, ah! Anybody knows, ah! That's me, and I'm freaking on reaction. And anybody knew me from before, I'm ready for a fight. Hot-headed. I'm ready. I have scars to prove that, right? Yeah. But this was I don't even know. This is years ago. This is like 2011 or something like that. It's years ago, or 2010. And I took a breath, and in that stillness, I was able to hear from my God self. There was a voice inside that says, park your car up and continue to breathe. Took a breath. Then I head to work to have this meeting. right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I went into the meeting. I brought my child, and the manager and the director, they're like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you where?" And they're freaking out, and what they're on the phone thinking, like, I think they were gonna call the police or something, like, and they're like, and I'm like, "Yeah, where did you park it?" Like, right at the front door, because this meeting is less than an hour. So I'm just like, do, 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 you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, so and so and the group of girls came down, parked up, and they were hiding, waiting for you to jump out the car. And they they just saw them run, but they didn't know where they were. So they were looking for them, try to catch them before I came, because they knew I was on my way.
Yes.
And I said, I didn't see anybody. I didn't hear anybody. And they're like, okay, well, thank you for your services. I'm like, thank you for this opportunity. It was just quick, sign some papers. I'm done, whatever. And they walked me back to my car, and I went home.
Mm-hmm.
And they were freaked out. They probably thought I was like a witch or something at that point. They're like, because it just didn't make sense. Because in their reality, I was about to be assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In my reality, I sent another beautiful Black woman love and compassion. I know that when you have children and you're no longer working, it's scary.
Mm-hmm.
And it was scary for me too, because I knew it was my last day too. I shared this story, and I don't know why I'm sharing this story. It just came up. Shape shifting, energetic shape shifting. If I had sent bad vibes to her, oh, watch when I go there and I'm going to be ready and whatever the case may be, if I had went with that energy, I would have quantum jumped to that reality to match that frequency.
Yes. Yeah.
But I sent love and compassion. And I didn't know what I knew now, because this is 2010. This is years of
Mm-hmm.
2010 or 2011. So we're talking about, I don't even know 15 years ago.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
like, you know, and I was already deep in my path. I've already, done some initiations, but I was still a baby. And in some cases, I still am a baby. But what I know to be true is, in the breath, there comes an immediate manifestation of energetic shape shifting in that
Mm-hmm.
breath. So unconditional love, yes. And that's back to, I wrote some notes as you were talking. And so, so the inner love, that's why I had you repeat that, because as we shape shift, as we awakening doesn't mean that things are going to be good. Awakening means disruption. It means the
Mm-hmm.
breaking of the oak. As a spiritual doula, the work I've done with my clients in their awakening, it is labor pain. It is not sexy. And that's when we give up, because it hurts too much, even if it's facing the truth. And facing
Mm-hmm.
the truth, for me, it to be true, created physiological pain and rash and outbreak and all sorts of stuff.
Yes.
And it's so
Yeah.
easy to give up in that pain. But if the woman pushing out her baby, or if somebody is in the brinks of a breakthrough with their business, or is about to graduate, and you pull back, stillbirth,
Yeah.
or the energy.
Yeah. And I say, have grace for those individuals who, you know what?
Yes.
Can you hear me well? Okay, good.
Yeah, I heard you. You
For
just paused quick. Yeah.
for
Grace.
those individuals who have started on a path or have asked a question and saw a result very quickly and say, no, 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 I pull it back. And you say delete. I don't want that right now. Have grace for yourself. Because in
Mm-hmm.
that there's a lesson. Because you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
come around to yourself. You will always, you will find
Always.
yourself. You will see within yourself.
Yeah.
So have grace in that moment for yourself, for whatever it is that you still need to teach you.
Yeah.
That is a lesson in the making. You are still writing your textbook. You are still completing that paragraph. You are still on that
Girl.
page. And
Girl.
that's all good. It's
It's
all
it's it's a
good.
it's a part of the journey. Pulling back is a part of the journey. Everything is happening for your highest good, right?
Hmm.
And in my journey during the last 5 years, I went through a name change. I had to, then I'm given the name. Oh wow, this is cool. Then I had to match the frequency of the name, which is still working out. So it was a hot mess. And in that, I did pull out with certain things. I did drop the ball in certain things. I did, I would say, disappointed people I loved in
Hmm.
that process. It created embarrassment sometimes, right?
Hmm.
And I'm talking in the last 3 years. So this is not like, because I've been
Yes.
doing this work since '08. Okay. So I'm not talking about like '08. I'm talking about the last 32 months. Is it 30, 36 months?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now in this moment, it had to have happened that way. And there's still a part of my process. There's still conversations I still have to have with people to say, hey, I had to choose myself. And I understood that I was misunderstood. And I know that me choosing myself had created this uh, this maybe response or feeling.
Hmm.
But there's a part of me in my journey, because it's painful when I know that my action causes you confusion or pain.
Hmm.
Because it's scary for me to be misunderstood. So I would pacify myself to be understood, when then I'm not being understood by myself, to myself, with myself,
Boom.
right? So
Exactly.
in choosing myself, I was misunderstood and misread, and it did create some disappointment, maybe hurt. So in my journey, a part of my awakening is to own all of it, and to, like you said, to have grace that as you choose yourself, it's going to be a bumpy ride, because you are no longer the same.
Hmm.
And when you're no longer the same, people are going to be like, who's this? Stop it. Stop it. You don't talk back. You set boundaries? What kind of boundaries? What do you mean you have to screen my calls? What do you mean you have to end the conversation because it's not healthy? What do you mean you got to quit your job? You have kids, you have a mortgage. I can't work by myself. What do you mean you got to What do you mean you're wearing white? What do you mean you're covering your all of them thing there?
What do you mean
What do you,
no?
what
What do you mean no? You don't say no.
You don't say no. You've never said no. Who
You've
are
never
you?
said
Stop
no.
it. Stop it. So when we're shape shifting, to have grace and compassion for ourselves and others is going to be vital. Awakening does not mean sexy. Awakening does not mean it feels good. The result would be just like working out, it's working out a spiritual muscle,
Mhm.
right? And for those who do any physical activity, it's hard at first. But
Mhm.
eventually you're like, man, I can now do 10 breaths in and 10 breaths hold and 10 breaths out. And before I was huffing and puffing at 3 breaths in and 3 breaths hold and 3 breaths out. So I've expanded
Right.
my lungs,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
I want to share a technique with people. Do you have anything to say close? And then you could share a breathing technique if you want,
Hmm.
uh, as
I
we come to a close.
I'd like to share this as well. I'm being guided to share this. That breathing was what I finally got to, right? But before breathing, I had dance, and I still have dance.
Ooh.
And there's music, and I had music, and I still have music. I have drums. I have
Mm-hmm.
my bells. You heard all of that.
Hello.
I have writing, but not just
Mm-hmm.
writing for manifestation. Just writing.
Mm-hmm.
I have painting. I have coloring. Anything I could do with my hands and with my body, anything that's creative. We can use any of that.
Mm.
Photography, if you want to look through another lens, show
Whew.
others what you see here,
Mm.
what you feel here. It doesn't
Mm.
matter what it is. It does not matter what it is. It doesn't have to look like anyone else. I know you hear this all the time. Trust me. I know. I just got on social media last year. I have one post to my Ori, and I will add more. But for now, that's all I have, right? So, so in whichever form you can, you're not getting negativity out. That's not the purpose of it. You're not taking toxicity out. No, that's not what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You are living and you are breathing, and your creativity is a sign of your breath. And then when
Mm-hmm.
you could get around to learning how to breathe and knowing how to breathe deep, you're going to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But dance, music, what you listen to, what you see, what you
Mm-hmm.
create, all of it. Putting some paint on your wall, taking these stickers off the wall, anything.
Hello.
Okay? But that's all I wanted to share. And thank you. And I am happy to do some, breathing with you.
Oh, I'm gonna keep my piece short because I want you to do the breathing. We'll probably take up maybe 4 minutes to close off here. And thank you for that reminder that if we're not at the breath, that's okay. Um, we can do other things to transmute the energy, right?
Yes.
And I had somebody come on here and they talked about um, ancient technology and how drums and dancing and poetry and writing and singing and humming and rocking is ancient technology to shift and to heal. So well, I'm going to have her on because that's a whole, topic in itself, and how colonialism shut off that software that we have within us with the ancient technology. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to I was going to do some tapping, but I'm led to do some quantum breathing that I've learned years ago. Years. I think this is like 2012. Anania O'Deley had a beautiful retreat embarked in Dr. Ibun um, in that circle, in that retreat that weekend, and we learned it's a quantum breathing. I had to look that up in 2012. Who knew about quantum breathing?
Probably.
But some of it we were doing without knowing what it was. So she gave a name to what I felt. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of breath work with some wording. And then maybe we'll take a minute for you to close us off in some breathing. And so I'm going to explain it first. So you start, this is my right shoulder. So you start with the inhale at your right. So inhale, 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 hold, exhale, halfway. So we don't go all the way half. So inhale, 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 shoulder to shoulder. Exhale, exhale, and end center. Okay. So we're going to do 3 of that. And then we're going to do regular breaths in and out. And you can do the breathing. I'm just going to share some wording. And you could adopt this word or listen back to this clip later. Okay. So as we inhale, so I'm not going to breathe because I'm going to speak as I breathe. but I want you to breathe.
Yes.
Okay. So as you breathe in, shoulder to shoulder, right to left, right to left. I release from my mind, body, spirit, and emotion. Exhale to a time and place of nothingness, that I'm not enough. Exhale. Exhale halfway, not all the way. We're not bringing it back. We're taking it out.
I'm
So
still inhaling.
yeah. Oh, I see. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale. Middle. Inhale, right to left. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale, right to the center. Okay. We don't want to exhale and bring it back in. So right to left, inhale, left to center, exhale. Okay. And we're going to go. I release from my, you can keep breathing. I release from my mind, body, spirit, and emotion that I am confused. We send this to a time and place of nothingness. I release from my mind, body, spirit, and emotion that I am misunderstood. I send that to a time and place of nothingness. I release from my mind, body, spirit, and emotion that I am broken and I need fixing. And I send that to a time and place of nothingness. Okay, now we just do regular inhale breaths. I take in to my mind, body, spirit, and emotion that I'm at the right place at the right time with the right people, doing the right thing in the right way. Inhale in. I take into my mind, body, spirit, and emotion that I am safe and I'm grounded. Inhale, exhale. Another inhale, exhale in your own rhythm, in your own breath. I take into my mind, body, spirit, and emotion that I am ready for any and every manifestation that's aligned with my highest purpose. I'm going to say that again. Inhale, exhale in your own rhythm. I take into my mind, body, spirit, and emotion that I am ready for all and every manifestation that's aligned with my purpose. Ashe. So I'm going to pass this on to you to close us off. And I know we took a little over. I wanted to end at 1:20, but that's okay. We're working with the flow. And to just end us, close off with a breathing technique, whatever comes to you in this moment. And that's it.
Can you hear me well?
I could hear you. Speak again.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I could hear you. One more time, just to make sure.
One moment.
Okay.
Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I could hear. It sounds digital again.
All right.
Okay. So we're going to add Nzingha in a couple of seconds. So what we did is called, it's quantum breathing. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say if there's a bit of static, I can reserve it, but all is well. So I would like to do what Hathor mentioned, some fire breaths. Just 3 rounds of fire breaths will match today's summer solstice and leave us in the essence of doing and being. Not even doing this. Be. This is what it is to be. Okay?
Yes.
So we will raise our hands above our heads and we will be pulling them down quickly, counting to 10 3 times or straight to 30. And our focus will be on the exhale. So very quickly. We will do that 3 times. And that's it. All right. Remember, you're bringing in everything that you already have from within. Ready? Let's go. I'd like us to inhale once deeply and exhale deeply. And I'm being guided that one is enough. That's it.
Ashe. 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 Well, thank you so much, Nzingha. Thank you so much for shifting, for shape shifting, and for bringing that lesson and awakening to us that we are powerful beyond what we think and feel. And there is a breakthrough that happened over the lockdown, and to acknowledge that it was a breakthrough, not a brokenness or a break up, but a breakthrough. And we could just ride the wave as the time passes to get aligned. It's all about alignment. You're not broken. You're not broken. Like me, I've forgotten. And it was a path of remembering. It's all about remembering. Remembering. I am not broken. You are not broken. It's a path of remembering. Okay, so we're gonna end off here. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone in the chat. Blessings, 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 and see you next week.
Amen, Amina, Shay.
You let me press that nails? Yeah!